Sarawak's strategy for progress. Miri to welcome Brunei's visitor. California oak fire not contained. Those are the headlines for tonight. I'm Lorenzo Isaac and this is TVS Nightline. The Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, had a lot to say in regards to the future progression of Sarawak. The Premier touched on the topic of attracting more visitors to Cebu, where the state government will hire an international consultant to draft Cebu's renewal plan. And also, he urges people to learn English and Mandarin language, as it can also be a way of attracting new visitors, although the Malay language and ethnic languages will always be respected.
One of the plans that the Premier had in mind was the creation of the Heritage Trail, connecting one historical place to another.
Cebu mempunyai heritage dan latar belakangnya tersendiri. Dan sudah tentu heritage ini akan dipertahankan. Dan saya percaya bahawa Menteri Pelancongan kita dan rakan-rakannya dalam kementerian akan mewujudkan satu heritage trail bagi Bandar Cebu.
The Premier has ordered Deputy Premier Datuk Seri Dr. Sim Kui Hian to collaborate with the Tourism Ministry for Cebu's renewal plan. In line with this, he added that the government will hire an international consultant.
We are going to engage international consultant to look at how we want to improve Cebu. Not only we look at Australia and recently Singapore, but we also look at places where the feature of Cebu as well as that place can be compared. As you know, Cebu is prone to flooding, and we want to have a new approach of how to control flooding.
In his speech, he noted that other than the English language, Mandarin is also an important language to master.
One area that we have to maintain is our command of languages. Besides our own Bahasa Malaysia and our ethnic language, we have also to command other foreign languages such as English, which is very, very important, and also command of Mandarin in order for us to lure foreign tourists, including the Chinese tourists and those Mandarin-speaking people throughout the world.
He added that the progress he has envisioned for Cebu's renewal plan needs the collaboration from both the state government and the people of Sarawak.
Improvement works will be made at the Miri Immigration, Customs, Quarantine and Security Complex to ensure that the process of tourist arrivals goes smoothly. As such, Sarawak's Minister of Transport, Datuk Sri Lee Kim Shin, said the effort was made following the numbers of vehicles entering the Malaysian border at Sungai Tujuh, Kuala Baram, which is expected to increase following the opening of borders in Brunei Darussalam on August 1st.
Hence, the Immigration Department will also increase the number of services counter to smoothen the traffic flow.
That's why it's very important that ensure that the traffic flow here is smooth, and that's why I think they have to come here to help here, especially within the CIQ complex here, to ensure that there will be smooth flow of traffic here. We don't want to have a long queue here, having massive traffic congestion. So one of the problems here is, can see here, is that the travelers from Brunei, Bruneians and foreigners, they have to fill in the travel card before they come in, and that will save a lot of time, reduce the congestion. Yeah.
He told reporters after conducting a work visit in regards to preparation of reopening the Miri-Brunei border CIQS at Sungai Tujuh, Miri on Saturday. At the same time, Lee calls upon relevant authorities to help alleviate the facility complex so as to ensure the safety of all the members of the public as well as the visitors.
The need because all the foreigners from Bruneian foreigners, when they enter here, they have to fill in my travel card first. They have to download the MySejahtera, fill in my travel card, all the information. So the moment they arrive, they can just show the MySejahtera, my travel card. Blue, they can just pass it away.
Meanwhile, there will be numerous government agencies that will be involved in the reopening of the border this coming April 1st.
California's oak fire has been spreading rapidly since it started to burn through parts of California's Mariposa County on Friday, July 22nd. According to a spokesperson from the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection, the fire had 0% containment. More than 6,000 people were ordered to evacuate the area as the fire has already ravaged nearly 12,000 acres of forests. This is California's third wildfire incident in the span of 2 weeks, and the Yosemite National Park has been forced to close. Over the past couple of weeks, Malaysia recorded an increase in COVID-19 cases with over 3,000 new COVID-19 infections reported on Sunday. This mirrors the situation internationally, with cities like Shanghai and Macau resorting to another lockdown to curb the COVID-19 virus. Despite assurances by our leaders there won't be another economic shutdown, many fear Malaysia will follow suit. This same was expressed by an economic expert on the matter. Here's a recap of our conversation with former Executive Director of the Malaysian Institute of Economic Research, Professor Emeritus Dr. Zakaria Abdul Rashid, earlier this week.
I personally think that I don't think there will be any lockdown again in the future. First, for the reason is that last time when the lockdown was introduced, it is to halt the spread of COVID-19, and but the economic impact of the lockdown is very devastating. So if you mention about these two regions, Macau and China, particularly Shanghai, that is the choice of an individual country. But I don't think Malaysia will undertake a lockdown again unless the pandemic reoccur at a global scale.
Considered necessary for reducing the risk of spreading COVID-19, the confinement measures are putting unprecedented pressure on local markets and economies. Dr. Zakaria said in the event that there is another lockdown, the public's health should be of importance, despite it having a repercussion on livelihood and the economy.
The choice between life and livelihood. And I think we have to take care of our life first before we talking about livelihood. But both are important. So if there is a need, if the pandemic reoccur at a global scale, then all the country will have to undertake lockdown. All the country in the world as before, as in the 2020. So we have to follow. We have to follow suit. This is a great economic impact on us. If we practice another lockdown, then we have to remember that it's not only our country, then the whole world will be affected.
Asked to comment on the inflation brought by the COVID-19 pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine conflict, Dr. Zakaria said the public should not be too reliant on the subsidies, as it is not a sustainable practice to bring down inflation.
Inflation is now a major problem to the people in the world. So we are experiencing about 2.5, 2.8% inflation. But other countries, especially the Western countries, nearly 10%, 9.8, 9.5%. The government now contain inflationary phenomenon by introducing a lot of intervention by the government in terms of giving subsidy. Because subsidies, 77 billion for this year, 2022, will not last much any longer. Because from year to year, we always break our historical record of giving subsidy. That means giving subsidy is not a sustainable practice in any country in the world. So that means hopefully that's what we hope. Maybe after perhaps 1 or 2 years, things will come back to normal, and we have to do away with the subsidies, and we will now start building up our capacity, rebuilding our capacity of the economy, so that our economy will be able to function normally or can be more competitive in the global world.
The upcoming 15th general election will be held by year-end or early next year, depending on the date that has been proposed by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob. However, Vice President of the Parti Pesaka Bumi Putra Bersatu PBB, Datuk Seri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, said the Gabungan Parti Sarawak GPS government, led by its President Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, is ramping up preparations for early polls and mobilizing its election machinery statewide. As such, he said that the preparations will finalize at the optimum level, as he said the election can be held anytime.
The one who is entrusted to do it, he will definitely make a lot of calculation. The weather, the inclement of weather, whether election commission is already well prepared to organize it nationwide, because it's not going to be like by-election. It's going to be a nationwide election. It will take a lot more effort.
He stressed that the general election should be held within 60 days after the current parliament has dissolved. Adding further, he said that the last general election was held on 9th May 2018. At the same time, Abdul Karim said that PBB and its party components in GPS will always be ready to face the upcoming election.
But normally, whoever is in the government, they wouldn't wait until right at the last minute. They will have the election probably 1 year before or 6 months before. So it can be end of this year, or it can be early next year. So on Sarawak side, we will always be prepared. Our party, GPS, will always be prepared because we just had our state election. So our machinery are already quite oiled. And apart from that, election commission in Sarawak, I believe they have gone through that process last year, so they are quite well prepared. We can use the same people to conduct it, but we are not too sure about West Malaysia. So that is where most of the things that need to be looked into, to be oiled, to be polished, is West Malaysia.
He was speaking to reporters after officiating ceremony of MySet Extreme Game Challenge at Cebu Active Youth Space, SAYS, on Saturday.
The food and beverage sector has become a key player in lifting the economy in Sarawak. In regards to that, Deputy Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Datuk Snodan Lawan, stressed that the said sector should maximise its full potential, since Kuching is recognised as a creative city of gastronomy.
F&B is one of the major products of our tourism industry. Tourists spend the most of F&B after accommodation, and this is why it's so important for us to continue to elevate our state gastronomy ecosystem. Kuching recognition as a UNESCO Creative City of Gastronomy is a major milestone for our state. We need to capitalize on this to position Kuching, if not, the whole of Sarawak as a food tourism destination.
Snowden said this during the closing ceremony of the Sarawak Gastronomy Sago Incubator 2022 and Forage at the Hills Kuching on Sunday. Furthermore, he said key industry players should be innovative in enhancing the quality of food and beverages in Sarawak, besides focusing on food preparation and hygiene.
For us to stay ahead, we must continue to innovate. Be innovative and ensure that the gastronomy ecosystem in the state is dynamic and vibrant. Hence, we also need more effort and initiative like Sago Incubator to help food entrepreneurs in developing the food ecosystem here.
The Sago Incubator is the first of its kind in Malaysia and functions to aid entrepreneurs in the F&B industry to develop creativity skills in the business. Deputy Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Dr. Snowden Lawan, has called upon all food and beverages key players to hire more local talents. This, he said, is to strengthen the economy and improve the livelihood of Sarawakians by providing more job opportunities.
Make sure the staff or the employees try to get the local people, as accommodate our locals so that they have the opportunity to work and present their own uniqueness of their food that they are being proud of Sarawak.
Welcome back. Sunway Healthcare Group has expanded its wing to fulfill the needs of Sarawak as well as Sabah through a traditional and complementary medicine center, TCM Sunway. It is Sunway's show of commitment to give quality and world-class services by offering complementary services.
Hi, I'm JC and I'm reporting here at the Sunway TCM Center here in Kuching. It is its second branch, but the first in Borneo States. And the center here will be serving the population of Sarawak, Sabah, and international patients as well. Now today I'll be taking you guys on a short tour and to see what facilities and services do they provide here at Sunway TCM Kuching. So let's go. Sunway TCM Center creates a wonderful synergy of traditional, complementary and integrated clinical practices to provide a much improved healthcare solution. The center's multidisciplinary and personalized approach provides a platform for a better treatment plan for all patients. TCM encompasses many different practices, including Chinese herbal medicine, dietary therapy, acupuncture, manipulation, moxibustion, tuina, which is the Chinese massage, gua sha, and so on. Sunway TCM skilled practitioners provide a comprehensive and integrative approach via virtual consultation for the time being in the Borneo outlets to your healthcare. Other than TCM in general medicine, the TCM specialties include oncology or integrated oncology, gynecology, and orthopedics and traumatology. Now let's take a look at some of the treatments provided at Sunway TCM Center, Kuching. Acupuncture is a safe technique when administered by properly trained practitioners and follows appropriate technique. Most patients find that the treatments are relaxing and cause minimal discomfort. The acupuncture needles are inserted through the skin at specific points called acupoints on the body. According to TCM principle, disruption of the flow qi and blood cause the illnesses. Hence, acupuncture works by restoring and enhancing the flow of qi and blood along the meridians, hence improving circulation, thus treating illnesses, alleviate pain, relieve stress, and enhance functions of our body systems. Several theories using a scientific explanation were published on how does the acupuncture work. Generally, acupuncture stimulation sends the messages to the tissues and nerves in our body, causing the biochemistry changes of the body which finally improve our body system. Another method of acupuncture treatments available in Sunway TCM Center is the auricular therapy, which refers to the ear acupuncture or auricular acupuncture, where the external surface of the ear or auricle is stimulated to alleviate pathological conditions in other parts of the body. Moxibustion, also known as the moxa therapy, is a focused heat therapy which involves the burning of dried mugwort or Artemisia argi on particular acupoints. It is usually put near the surface of the skin to obtain warmth and heat stimulation to the skin, thus improving qi and blood circulation to relieve blood stagnation and enhance immunity. Moxibustion has also been studied for the treatment of pain, cancer, stroke, ulcerative colitis, constipation, and hypertension. Sunway TCM Center also provides manipulation and massage therapy, which consists of 3 different therapy: systematic restructure and realignment body structure, myofascial therapy, traditional Chinese massage therapy, or TVSTVMY. Cupping is an Asian form of traditional Chinese medication treatment, where a TCM physician puts special cups on your skin for a few minutes to create suction. The physician may utilize glass, bamboo, ceramic, or plastic cups over a painful area or acupuncture points, leaving temporary marks on the skin, which will result to redness or therapeutic bruising, which will disappear within a couple of days. Cupping has been used to treat a wide variety of conditions and is particularly effective at relieving conditions that create muscle aches and pains. To seek more information regarding the facilities and services provided at Sunway TCM Center, you can always visit our website at www.sunwaymedical.com/TCM. Well, there you have it, guys. A quick tour on the brand new open and now operating Sunway TCM Center here in Kuching. Now I urge everybody to experience it firsthand about ancient wisdom and modern technologies. See you guys.
A 33-year-old woman was killed in a hit-and-run accident while crossing a road at kilometer 7 of the Federal Highway here earlier today. Shah Alam District Police Chief ACP Muhammad Iqbal Ibrahim said preliminary investigations revealed that the incident occurred at 12:11 a.m. He said the pedestrian was crossing the road before she was hit by an unknown vehicle traveling from Kuala Lumpur towards Klang. The victim was confirmed dead at the scene and the body has been sent to Shah Alam Hospital for post-mortem. The case is being investigated under Section 41 of the Road Transport Act 1987 for reckless driving. Craft entrepreneurs across the country have gained a momentum through the increased demand for their products, catalyzed by the National People Wellbeing and Economic Recovery Package or PEMULE. Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Dato' Sri Nancy Shukri revealed the income generated stands at 17.9 million ringgit. The PEMULE incentive was given in the form of a purchase rebate worth 3.8 million ringgit.
Orang wakil usahawan kraft dari sekitar Langkawi menerima pemberian insentif. Alhamdulillah. Bantuan pemberian ini dapat membantu memulihkan perniagaan usahawan kraft yang terkesan akibat COVID-19 dan merancangkan kembali industri kraft negara. Motek akan sentiasa menyokong perusahaan kraft yang dijalankan serta secara fizikal maupun visual melalui Minecraft Shop secara berterusan.
Nancy spoke during the launching ceremony of the Craft Evolution Gallery in conjunction with the reopening of Langkawi's Craft Complex on Saturday, July 23rd. Both museums are meant to attract more tourists to Langkawi and are in line with the National Cultural Policy or DAKN 2021 fourth pillar, which is the preservation, conservation and expansion of Malaysia's culture.
Now on to some global affairs. On Saturday, July 23rd, the World Health Organization WHO declared the rapidly spreading monkeypox as a global health emergency with the highest level of alert. This will prompt a coordinated international response in terms of funding and collaboration on sharing vaccines and treatments. The announcement by the Director General of WHO, Tedros Ghebreyesus, was a clear indicator that the organization's expert committee could not reach a consensus whether to announce monkeypox as a global pandemic or not.
And there are now more than 16,000 reported cases from 75 countries and territories and 5 deaths. Although I'm declaring a public health emergency of international concern, for the moment this is an outbreak that's concentrated among men who have sex with men, especially those with multiple sexual partners. That means that this is an outbreak that can be stopped with the right strategies in the right groups.
At the moment, monkeypox vaccines are secured by countries that have reported cases of the disease. WHO is currently in discussion to procure the vaccine from its manufacturers.
When this vaccine is given in a pre-exposure context, it is not like giving an antiviral. It takes time for vaccines to work, and in this case, it can take up to 3 weeks, I believe, for this vaccine to take full effect. So being vaccinated does not give you instant protection. The best way to avoid this infection is to avoid being exposed to it, and if you are exposed to it, to avoid being the person that transmits that further to somebody else.
Monkeypox spreads via close contact and causes flu-like symptoms and pus-filled skin lesions. The recent outbreak was an astonishment to many, as it rarely crosses the borders of Africa, where it is endemic.
The consequences of bribery on all levels have a dangerous impact on society, and oftentimes the poor are the ones who suffer the most. So to prevent bribery, get some insights with the expert on Sejahtera Asia tomorrow, Syed Abdul Qadir bin Wan Muhammad and Melvin Ong, with